Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today I'm going to be unboxing 3 Middle Eastern fragrances, including MAISON ALHAMBRA's Lowe Immortal. So let's jump into it. We are back with another unboxing first impressions video of 3 Middle Eastern fragrances that I recently picked up as part of a larger haul. Links are going to be down in the description if you decide you want to check any of these out. Also have some coupon codes. Save yourself $5 off your first purchase at Fragrance Buy and Perfume Online if you decide you want to shop with them. 2 MAISON Alhambras and 1 Latafa we're going to get through today. Pretty excited, so let's quit screwing around and let's get into it. Kicking things off, going to the house of MAISON Alhambra with MAISON Alhambra's Exlusif Oud. Now I picked this sucker up for $21 at Fragrance Buy, and I don't know much, if anything, about this fragrance, so let's dive in, find out what we're dealing with. All right, so there we have the box presentation for MAISON Alhambra's Exlusif Oud. Pretty straightforward cardboard box, a nice thick cardboard I will add, and it is a slide off cover, so not your typical cardboard box, nice little added pizzazz to that, revealing our fragrance bottle sitting in a little podium like so, and nice looking fragrance bottle here, you know, sleek, clean, elegant, has kind of like a, I don't know what you would call that, just kind of a chiseled edge, so it's not like a completely round bottle, but it is a nice, thick, heavy glass. The Exlusif Oud is kind of inlaid in there, so oh, well, a pretty nice looking bottle presentation. Cap on this, it's a thick plastic, but it is pretty lightweight. And the atomizer on this bad boy. Decent atomizer, nothing crazy, but it'll definitely get the job done. But what does this smell like? So right out the gates, just smelling this in the air from testing that atomizer. Nice smooth style of fragrance. It's got some spice to it, but it's also got some sweetness that's working in there. Kind of a rosy sweetness, a bit of a floral sweetness to it. Not an overly rosy rose, but really nice, smooth, sweet, spicy fragrance. Let's jump into this. So off paper, this is much different than it was in the air. More of that spice is coming through. So it's got this pepperiness to it, like almost a little bit of a smokiness that's coming through. There is a little floral touch that's there, but it's really tucked in behind this really spicy kind of touch of woods, a little bit of like oudiness to this, but mostly what I'm getting at this moment is that spice, a little bit of green, a little bit touches of smoke and florals in here. Very interesting. All right, so now that this is opening up, those spices are dying down, and I am getting that sweetness back that I got initially that was in the air. So it has a nice floral violet rose combination that's moving its way through. So it has that level of sweetness, kind of a soft sweetness that's playing with this peppery note, maybe a little bit of cumin that's in here, the smoky aspect to it kind of died down a little bit, but it's still there. There is like hints of some oud and some incensey, almost some like leatheriness that's here, but it is tucked in behind and that sweetness is coming forward a lot more. The one thing I have heard about this fragrance, again, I couldn't find much of anything about this fragrance online, but one thing I came across was this is supposed to be an inspired by of Carolina Herrera's Oud Couture. I have not smelt that fragrance, but what I can tell you is this is getting that kind of floral sweetness that's pushing through more and more as this is starting to kind of dry down a little bit, and it still maintains a little bit of that spiciness, little hints of green, little hints of oud. It's more of a woody oud that's there. It's not a medicinal or a sweet oud by any sense, or even an animalic style, but you're definitely getting that floral sweetness that's coming through with the spices. So if that's what Oud Couture smells like, then they're doing it right, but couldn't tell you, but I am enjoying this fragrance. It is quite nice, but let's skip to the dry down, see how this unfolds, and we'll go from there. We're back with the dry down of MAISON Alhambra's Exlusif Oud. It's been about an hour. Let it settle down, do its own thing. This fragrance surprised me. I didn't know what to expect with this one. I didn't have the highest hopes necessarily, but this is really, really nice. I am enjoying this one. It has a very luxurious elegance to it. The oud in this has come forward a little bit more, but again, it's kind of a soft, woody style of oud. The rose, violet, floral sweetness, softness is still there. It's sitting on top of this. The spice is there, but it's kind of like a green, almost like a spicy patchouli that's sitting in there. Little bit of like an incensiness that's coming through, a touch of leatheriness, but it's all really dancing and blending together really nice. So it's not like a leather fragrance. It's not an oud fragrance. It's not an overly floral fragrance. Everything is just singing and dancing together. Very, very nice. And I am really enjoying this one. I can't wait to get this one on skin. It is a little bit kind of a darker, richer, deeper style of fragrance. So this is gonna be more kind of a cooler weather, fall, winter style of fragrance. And now that fall's coming around the corner, I'm definitely gonna be getting this on skin. And I'm quite excited about this one. I'm not sure about performance. It's not like blasting off the paper. But oh, I'm enjoying the scent profile on this one quite a bit. And for 21 bucks, I think pending performance, this was a great pickup, but I'll have to get back to y'all. But so far, this is a winner. That's Maison Alhambra's Exlusif Oud. All right, next up, going to the house of Latafa, and it's Latafa's Opulent Oud. Now I picked this bad boy up for $20 at Fragrance Buy, and this has been on my to buy list for a very long time. I've had this bookmarked and I just kind of kept scrolling past it, but this time I did not, because we're gonna find out what this is all about. All right, so there we have the box presentation for Latafa's Opulent Oud. Nice little gold kind of medallion that's sitting up front. It is a cheapy plastic, and this is kind of a little bit different. It's got like a velvety box to it, but overall pretty straightforward cardboard box. Let's look at the bottle. All right, so there we have the bottle presentation for Latafa's Opulent Oud. Nice regal looking bottle, has a very kind of Middle Eastern vibe going on to it. Some nice pattern that's kind of in the glass there. Again, repeating that medallion that's there. This is more of a metal. The box had more of a plastic feel to it. So overall, bottle's pretty nice. Cap on this is plastic. It's got a little bit of thickness to it, but kind of a cheapy plastic. And the atomizer on this bad boy. Uh-oh. Pretty weak atomizer overall. It'll get the job done, but I'm not super impressed. But what does it smell like? So all right off the jump, just to smell this in the air from testing that atomizer, this very much has that kind of Latafa DNA going onto it. If you're familiar with other Latafas, you'll know what I'm talking about. Very oody, has some saffron, maybe a little touches like some cinnamon spice that's mixed in here, and a little bit of rosiness is coming through. Not a super oud rose kind of combination, more kind of a floral touch to some oud, some spice, some amberiness to this, maybe some woody notes that are coming through. So it's definitely got that Middle Eastern vibe, that kind of Latafa signature going on to it, but let's dig a little bit deeper, shall we? So right off the jump off paper, again, this is just, it's got like a soft style of oud that's in here, but it's got a little bit of a darkness to it, kind of ambery, has like a little bit of a resinous, like a thickness to it almost, with those kind of rosy floral touches that are moving on. A little bit of spice, there's like maybe some cinnamon that's in here, more of a kind of a warm spice that's happening, but what you're really picking up is kind of that rosy, oud, ambery style of scent DNA. There is a little touch of saffron that's in here. It's not like a leathery saffron. It's kind of, the best way to describe this is like the Latafa signature style of saffron. So that's what I mean when I say this is a very kind of Latafa fragrance. I find the Latafa style of saffron sometimes to be very distinct, like a very Latafa style. So that is what I'm getting. And again, floral notes, oud, a little bit of sweetness coming through, touch of spice. I am enjoying this one. We'll see how it dries down. This might be maybe kind of a boring fragrance for me at this moment, but let's skip to the dry down and we'll figure that out. We're back with the dry down of Latafa's Opulent Oud. Been an hour, let this settle down, do its own thing. Didn't change a whole lot. Again, this is kind of your typical dark, kind of ambery, like almost, again, a resinous kind of like oudiness to it, amber that's going on. And those are floral notes. There is like a little bit of like, not a smokiness, but maybe just kind of like a real dryness that's coming through. Little hints of that Latafa style of saffron. So overall, this is, for me, not all that exciting. I was hoping for a little bit more. There's not much sweetness to this. It's, again, it's more kind of dark, resiny amber with that oud, hints of rose that's going on to it. So not particularly excited about this one. Some people compared this to Latafa's Oud Mood. And so I had to refresh my memory and I grabbed it off my shelf, and I don't necessarily see that. Same Latafa style of backbone, but the Oud Mood is a little bit sweeter and a little bit more, I don't know, richer in that sense, I suppose. I prefer the Oud Mood over this one, but I don't find them to be similar in the sense other than that kind of Latafa DNA. So overall, I'm not particularly thrilled about this one. I don't think it's anything special, to be quite honest. And for 20 bucks, not bad, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to get this on skin, give it a full testing, see if it changes on my skin or anything like that. But so far, it's a meh. That's Latafa's Opulent Oud. Our last, but hopefully not least, going back to Maison Alhambra with Maison Alhambra's Lowe Immortal. I scooped this bad boy up for $33 at Fragrance Buy. Also available on Perfume Online, I believe, and Amazon, but Amazon's charging maybe double the price of that. So had a lot of people tell me I need to check this one out. They asked me to review this one, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna unbox this one and see what we're dealing with. All right, there we have the box presentation for Maison Alhambra's Lowe Immortal. Typical cardboard box. It does open up on the side like so, revealing cardboard tin. So there's the additional packaging, the tin for this. So typical kind of tin presentation, nothing too fancy with this. A slide off top like so, revealing our fragrance bottle right there. So I have done the Jean Lowe Nouveau, very similar presentation of this. Nice thick heavy glass, good base to this. Cap on this is a lightweight plastic, but it's got some girth to it, so it's not a fragile, cheapy plastic necessarily. And the atomizer on this, good atomizer on this, will definitely get the job done. But what does this smell like? So right off the jump, just smelling this in the air from testing that atomizer, very ginger, grapefruit, citrusy style of opening to this, like a very sharp, prominent, fresh, spicy ginger that's coming through. I have heard this is inspired by Louis Vuitton's L'Immenscent. You guys are gonna roast me for pronouncing that wrong. Google it, that's what they're trying to get inspired by. But this does have a very kind of like the Tarothi Blue, Latafa Al Khayyam Silver style of opening, that Bulgari Tiger style of citrus, but it's very spicy. Like the ginger in this is aggressive. Let's get this on paper, dive in. Yeah, wow, opening on this is incredibly citrus opening to this. So some bergamot coming through, adding some tartness, a little bit of grapefruit that's in there. Touch of sweetness coming from that, but the star of the show right now is this ginger. So very fresh, spicy style of ginger, has some sharpness to it, a little bit of a sparkle that's going on, and it's just kind of accentuating that bergamot and grapefruit. This is a really nice citrusy opening. As this is opening up, there is a little bit kind of a wateriness that's starting to develop now. So the citrus that, like I said, that ginger was very sharp and aggressive in the beginning. Not aggressive in a bad way. Like if you're into that kind of like very sharp forward citrus, then you're really gonna like that. But it is getting a little bit watered down. It's toning that down a little bit, so it's not as forward right now. And there's a little bit of soft aromatics that are starting to come in, like a little bit of a cleanness that's starting to work its way through. But the citruses are very much there still, just a little bit toned down, and it's starting to get a little bit lighter, a little bit airier, and like a cleanness that's coming through. Very, very nice. A little bit of ambroxan coming through, a little bit of some ambriness, so there's like a dryness, a little bit of sweetness that's starting to come through, but very much a citrus fragrance with those aromatics. I am going to take back that initial comment about this being like Tarothi Blue. The citrus opening in the beginning, there was like a moment where it really kind of reminded me, but as this is kind of developing and working its way down, I'm finding it to be a little bit less like, you know, similar citrus accords. There is ambroxan and amber that it kind of shares, but I'm not saying that this wouldn't be a clone, I would say, in my opinion, but it is a very nice fragrance. Let's skip to the dry down, see how this develops, and we'll go from there. And we are back with the dry down of Maison Alhambra's Jean Lowe Immortal. Been an hour, let this settle down, do its own thing. This is a great fragrance, I'm loving this one. That ginger is still there, loud and proud, it's still doing its thing, so it still has that citrus accord going on to it, that sparkle, that kind of effervescent ginger that you would get with like a little bit more fresh spiciness than your typical ginger, in my opinion. It still has that kind of toned down aspect to it with those aromatics that are there. It's getting a little bit of some sweetness, a little bit of a push from some ambroxan that's there, a little bit of an ambery touch to it as well. But overall, this is still a very kind of lively, energetic, fresh citrus with a little bit of sweetness that's coming through, a little bit of warmth from that amber perhaps that kind of pulls it down. It's not like a freshy. Oh, but it is quite nice. I wish I would have had this at the beginning of the summer, because this would have been great throughout the summer, but I definitely think you can wear this in the spring and fall. I still think you can pull this one off. But I am enjoying this one quite a bit. If you do like that kind of Tarothi Blue, Al Khayyam Silver, and you've never smelt the Louis Vuitton L'Immense, whatever. I'm gonna just write it on the screen. I can't pronounce it today. If you like those kind of Bulgari Tiger style of clones, this isn't a clone of that necessarily. It's in that neighborhood. It has the same style of citruses. So I think if you stepped out and you gave this one a chance, I think you would enjoy this one, because it's a very beautiful fragrance. I'm enjoying this one for 33 bucks pending performance. I think this was a great pickup, but I'll have to get back to you guys, give you a full review on the performance on that, but pleasantly surprised and pleased with this one. Maison Alhambra's Jean Lowe Immortal. All right, so there you have it. That's the unboxing and first impression of 3 new fragrances from Maison Alhambra and Latafa. But I want to hear from you guys. I'm wanting to do kind of a big Maison Alhambra haul, and I want to hear from you guys. Which one should I be picking up? Comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I love getting your different recommendations, your hidden gems, your different tastes and scent profiles. Appreciate you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.